Have you ever opened your fridge late at night, looked at the leftovers sitting there and thought to yourself, this is going to be a quick, healthy choice? You pop it in the microwave and feel proud that you saved time and reduced waste. But what if I told you that decision could be quietly harming your body in ways you cannot see or feel immediately? What if I told you that something as innocent as reheating spinach or potatoes could slowly increase your risk of cancer, digestive issues, and even long-term brain damage? Most people never stop to question it because we are conditioned to believe leftovers are safe as long as they are kept in the fridge. But science tells a different story. Doctors, nutritionists, and researchers are raising red flags about 5 common foods that should never be reheated once they have been cooked and stored. And what makes this especially important is that these foods are not rare, exotic, or unusual. They are everyday staples found in almost every kitchen foods that you probably believe are the backbone of a healthy diet. So stay with me until the very end because you are going to learn which foods carry these hidden dangers. And more importantly, why they do. I am not just sharing opinions. I am sharing real findings supported by medical science and nutrition experts so that you can protect yourself and make smarter choices every time you open that fridge door. And by the end, you will see that it only takes a few small shifts in your kitchen routine to shield yourself and your loved ones from risks that build up silently over the years. Now let us get started with number 1, because this one shocks almost everyone who hears it for the first time. Number 1, reheating spinach releases harmful nitrate. Spinach is often described as a superfood. It is loaded with vitamins A, C, and K, iron, antioxidants, and compounds that support healthy blood pressure, energy, and overall vitality. You can toss it into a smoothie, saute it into a stir-fry, bake it into a lasagna, or simply eat it raw in a salad. It is a leafy green loved all over the world and often recommended by doctors and nutritionists. But here is the hidden truth that most people have never been told. Spinach is naturally high in nitrates, and while nitrates in their natural form can be beneficial, supporting healthy circulation and lowering blood pressure, they are also unstable under certain conditions. When spinach is cooked, stored, and then reheated, those nitrates can transform into nitrites and then into nitrosamines. Why does this matter? Because nitrosamines have been studied for decades and are directly linked to cancer risk, especially cancers of the stomach and colon. The World Health Organization and the National Cancer Institute have both pointed out the dangers of nitrosamines and their ability to damage the digestive tract and even harm the nervous system over time. Emerging studies suggest that long-term low-level exposure to nitrosamines may even contribute to neurological decline and diseases like Alzheimer's. Think about this for a moment. You prepare a fresh spinach soup on Sunday. You store it in the fridge, feeling confident that you will enjoy a bowl each night of the week. By Tuesday or Wednesday, you reheat it in the microwave and eat it without a second thought. The flavor may taste fine, but what you cannot see is that nitrosamines may now be present and slowly accumulating in your body. And here is the hook. This is especially important for older adults because as we age, our bodies lose efficiency in detoxifying harmful compounds. Cell repair slows, and the brain and nervous system become more sensitive to toxins. So what may have been a small risk in your 20s or 30s can become a much bigger threat in your 60s, 70s, or 80s. Chronic inflammation from nitrosamines does not announce itself right away. It works silently in the background, weakening memory, damaging cells, and setting the stage for disease. So what can you do? You do not need to give up spinach entirely. Fresh spinach is still one of the healthiest foods you can eat. The solution is to change how you handle it. Eat spinach fresh or lightly cooked. And if it is part of a leftover meal, try eating it cold, in a salad rather than reheating. If you must reheat spinach, use low heat on the stovetop, rather than high heat in the microwave, and never reheat it more than once. Always store spinach promptly in the refrigerator, and aim to consume it within a day or two. By making this simple shift, you protect yourself from invisible risks while still enjoying the nutrient power of spinach. Knowledge is power, and this small change can keep spinach as a true ally for your health instead of turning it into a hidden danger. Now let us move to number 2, which is another kitchen favorite, but one that carries its own quiet risks when reheated. Number 2, reheated potatoes can quietly disrupt your health. Potatoes are loved everywhere. They are mashed with butter, roasted with herbs, baked into crispy skins, or simmered in hearty stews. They are affordable, filling, and comforting, making them one of the most common foods on earth. But here is where it gets concerning. When potatoes are cooked, cooled, stored, and then reheated, their natural starches begin to change. This process is called retrogradation. It turns the starches into resistant starch, which in moderation can actually be good because it supports gut bacteria and helps balance blood sugar. But when reheated, especially at high heat, like in the microwave, potatoes can develop harmful changes. The biggest hidden risk comes from how potatoes are stored. If cooked, potatoes are wrapped in foil and left to cool slowly at room temperature. They create the perfect low-oxygen environment for a dangerous bacterium called Clostridium botulinum. This is the same bacterium that causes botulism, a serious condition that produces toxins capable of damaging nerves and in extreme cases leading to paralysis. Even when you store them in the fridge wrapped in foil, the risk is still there because the bacteria can survive and produce toxins that have no smell or taste. That means you could eat contaminated potatoes without realizing it until symptoms appear. Now pause and think about how often this happens. You bake a batch of potatoes for dinner. You wrap the extras in foil and slide them into the fridge thinking you are being efficient. 2 days later, you pop one in the microwave for a quick snack. It tastes fine. But what you do not know is that you may have just exposed yourself to invisible neurotoxins. This risk is particularly troubling for older adults because with age, the immune system weakens, digestion slows, and the body struggles more with bacterial toxins. Medical research has also shown that toxins in the gut can fuel inflammation that spreads throughout the body and even affects the brain, increasing the risk of memory problems, Parkinson's, and other neurodegenerative conditions. So, what can you do to stay safe? The solution is simple but powerful. If you cook potatoes, eat them fresh whenever possible. If you need to store leftovers, cool them quickly. Place them in airtight containers and never wrap them in foil before refrigerating. When reheating, use the oven or stovetop instead of the microwave so that the heat distributes more evenly and thoroughly. And if potatoes have been sitting for more than a couple of days, do not take the risk. Throw them out. Potatoes can still be a healthy and delicious part of your diet, but the way you handle them makes all the difference. By following these steps, you reduce hidden dangers and protect your energy, your digestion, and your long-term health. Now let me ask you a question. Are you surprised by what you have learned so far? Most people have no idea that something as simple as spinach soup or a baked potato could pose risks when reheated. If you are finding this information eye-opening, type the words number 2 in the comments right now, so I know you are still with me and learning something valuable. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, I invite you to do so now and hit the bell icon so you do not miss the rest of this series, because in the next part, we are going to uncover 3 more foods that may be sitting in your fridge right now, and one of them is almost guaranteed to surprise you. Stay tuned because the next food on the list is something most of us eat every single week, and yet reheating it may quietly harm your health in ways you never imagined. Number 3. Reheated eggs may release harmful compounds. Have you ever saved half a boiled egg in the fridge and thought it was harmless to warm it up later? Eggs are protein-rich and nutrient-dense. But when eggs are reheated, the high protein content reacts in a way that can produce toxic compounds that quietly stress your digestive system and even your cells. This is especially true for boiled or scrambled eggs because the proteins are delicate and sensitive to heat. Reheating changes their structure, making them harder for your body to digest and sometimes forming compounds that may harm your health. Long term. Imagine sitting down to what you think is a healthy breakfast, only to learn that reheating eggs could be silently undermining your energy, your digestion, and even your memory. The thought alone is enough to make anyone pause before pressing start on the microwave. That is why nutrition experts strongly recommend eating eggs fresh or cold rather than reheating them. If you really need to store them, prepare them in a way that can be eaten without reheating, like boiled eggs in a salad. Here is something engaging for you. If you are still here listening, I want you to type the word fresh in the comments. This shows me you are truly committed to your health journey and also helps me know which of you are staying connected to the very end. Number 4, reheating chicken can trigger hidden inflammation. Now, let us talk about chicken, one of the most popular proteins in the world. Maybe you roast it, grill it, or add it into soups. Chicken feels like a safe choice, but here's the secret very few people know. When chicken is reheated, the proteins inside it rearrange in a way that can create digestive problems and even encourage hidden inflammation in your body. This is especially concerning for older adults whose digestive systems may already be sensitive. The structure of chicken protein does not tolerate reheating well, so instead of providing nourishment, it may create stress in your gut. Think of inflammation like a slow-burning fire in your body. It does not always show up with obvious symptoms, but over time it can affect your heart, your joints, and even your immune system. Eating reheated chicken may be like quietly adding fuel to that fire without realizing it. So what should you do? Instead of microwaving leftover chicken, try enjoying it cold in a salad, wrap it in lettuce, or use it in sandwiches. This way you avoid reheating the proteins and keep your body safe from unnecessary stress. And here is a quick engagement hook. If you are still watching, comment "I choose health" below, so I know you are with me on this journey. And do not forget, liking this video or subscribing helps us share more science-backed tips to protect your body. Number 5, mushrooms lose their balance when reheated. Now let us turn to mushrooms, a food loved for its earthy taste and nutrients. Mushrooms are unique because they are full of antioxidants, vitamins, and delicate enzymes. But the catch is when mushrooms are reheated, those delicate compounds can break down and release toxins that upset your stomach and disturb your digestion. The reheating process also destroys their unique proteins and antioxidants, making them far less beneficial to your health. Imagine preparing a creamy mushroom soup or sautéed mushrooms for dinner, saving some for later, and then reheating it in the microwave. It feels like you are saving time, but in reality you could be stripping away the nutrients and risking harmful effects on your body. That is why experts suggest cooking mushrooms only in portions you can eat right away. Or if you must store them, eat them cold in a salad or add them into dishes without reheating. This is a crucial point because so many people love mushrooms but do not realize how fragile they are when exposed to reheating. If you are someone who enjoys mushrooms, type balance in the comments below. So I know this message has reached you. As we close this video, I want you to pause and think about what you have just learned. How many times in your life have you reheated eggs, chicken, or mushrooms without giving it a second thought? Now you know the hidden dangers and how these common foods can lose their safety and their nutrition when reheated. What part surprised you the most? Was it the way eggs form harmful compounds when warmed up? The way chicken can quietly trigger inflammation? Or maybe it was learning how mushrooms lose their balance and create toxins when exposed to heat? I would love for you to take one moment right now to comment below and share the single most eye-opening part of this video. Maybe you never knew reheated potatoes could harbor bacteria. Maybe you are shocked that spinach turns nitrates into dangerous compounds. Or maybe you are just realizing that reheating mushrooms could actually hurt your digestion. Whatever it is, your comment matters, because it shows you are serious about your health and it motivates us to keep making these important videos for you. Remember, knowledge is power, but action is transformation. The next time you open your fridge and think about microwaving spinach, potatoes, eggs, chicken, or mushrooms, I want you to stop and recall what you learned today. Choose to protect your body. Choose to keep your food safe and fresh, and choose to live each day with awareness. If you found value here, please do not leave without tapping the like button, subscribing to this channel, and sharing this video with someone you care about. Your support allows us to keep bringing real science-backed tips that can change lives. And if you are watching until the very end, thank you. You are the reason we continue creating content that inspires, empowers, and educates. Stay tuned, because in the next video, we will dive into more surprising kitchen secrets that can either support or sabotage your health. You do not want to miss what is coming next.